We are going to be installing LP Smart Side panel siding on this home. We have it all prepped, house wrap, green screen, and now we're going to start the trim work. There's two methods of installing LP Smart Side. You can do the siding first and then the trim, or you can do the trim first and then the siding. So either or, but depending on what method you choose, it goes up a little bit differently. The best installation for our situation is trim first. I'm going to start with the gable trim right up here along the soffits. This step that I'm going to do right now is actually not a common step, so I'm just going to get it done and I'll show you what I'm doing. But I'm using some scrap siding to create a spacer because I want to thicken up my trim. I need it to stick out a little further. So I'm just going to be lining my trim areas with these thin boards first, and then I'll lay my trim over them.
They have that kind of hair?
So we got the first layer installed on here all the way up and around. And all of that is just essentially a shim to bring the trim out to the depth, the thickness that I need. So now we're ready to start doing the trim work, and I'm going to follow that same line all the way up and around basically. We'll get cutting. This is the real deal. This is the real trim now. Because you'll get pain on you. Okay. Want to go up more?
No.
You got it?
Yeah. Alright, I'm letting go. Are you doing that on purpose?
What?
Hitting the ladder?
No, I was pulling the cord. The hose.
Ooh, it's drippy. Slide it. Okay, it's touching.
I'm going to put up a vertical piece of trim here, but since I was close up, I thought I'd show you guys. Check this out. This wood, even though it looks like regular trim, just wanted to show you guys it's actually a piece of OSB. This trim, all the Smart Side system, is made of OSB. And even though you'd think OSB wouldn't last as a siding, it's actually proven durable, and it does really great outside. So, kind of cool. They're always straight because it's OSB. You don't have to worry about splitting, cupping, curling, bowing. They just always look good. Now on the window trim, we don't have to do anything special. We're just going to put the trim up. All right, guys, that's all there is to it. Trim is up, it looks fine. We are ready to start the siding. Now, we did prime all the cut edges, so they're sealed, and we only have to put some caulk around here to seal it, some siding sealant around the window, and then paint. These are done. That's all you have to do for the trim. We're off to a little bit of a slow start this morning, trying to figure out where to begin. Last night, I thought I was starting on that end of the house, working this way, but today I think we're gonna start here, work this way. when you're working with an old house and everything's uneven and we don't have anything to line it up to, it's kind of hard to know where to begin with this. Since we already have the siding over here, I think we should start here so we can keep it at the same level and make it look straight. Because this bottom beam, I can't measure off of it. I'm having a hard time. So with that said, we're going to start with this cutoff. This is a scrap that we had. And we're going to start with that because it's small and it's easy to work with. And if we can get this up and straight plumb on our crooked house, then we're going to have clean lines to measure to cut out the window opening. And because right now I have no idea. It's a tricky one. So
5th grade or something?
got it?
Yep.
Okay guys, we just got our next piece cut. Since I had some clear measurements, I was able to cut out this opening. I hope I did it right. This board will tell us if we know what we're doing or we don't, because either it goes up good or we look foolish. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let me just see. All right, it's gotta.
It has to go up a little.
You know what it is? It doesn't slide good on the rain screen. It's kind of rough.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
Well, this one shouldn't be too bad. No cuts at least. Wow, guys, perfect. We're doing so good today. I know you guys just want to see the work. You don't want to see me stop to talk between every sheet, but that wouldn't be very exciting, would it? What we do is, when we put this paneling up, is that we leave about a 3/16 inch gap, and I try to go tighter, but I'm always looser. I try to shoot for an 1/8 inch. All the way around all the trim work. So we don't want it touching. You need room to fill it with siding sealant, and that's what's gonna seal the siding. So you can see we have a nice gap. And now some people will tell me I'm doing it wrong because they have in the past. They say you're supposed to put the siding on first to trim over it, but actually that would be harder to seal. It's hard for me to explain why right now, but it's just trust me. The thing is that the siding sealant will keep the water out. This is the approved installation method. But not only that is if the caulk ever failed, if the siding sealant fails, that's why we have the rain screen and the water, what's it called?
Wrap.
And the
Not this again.
and the house wrap underneath there. The rain screen creates a gap. There's about a little bit of 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch between the siding and the house wrap. And the house wrap is a water barrier, so it'll keep the sheathing dry and water can just slide down the wall and exit out the bottom if you should have a leak. So you guys don't have to worry about something like this. The house is protected by the house wrap. And in fact, vinyl siding is one of the most leaky sidings you can install. You see how many houses that has on it. And that stuff can leak all over the place. So don't worry about leaks. This is going to be more watertight than a vinyl sided house. Another full sheet, easy one, and then we're down to the end. Look at, we're already at the end of the house. Good. All right, last piece. Well, last kind of full piece. Leak it up. All right, guys, here's the hardest piece of the day.
It's too heavy.
My hose doesn't reach. Here's the last little section. Last little piece. I forgot to show you guys, but just did it. The last piece. Well, there it is, guys. The first stage of the siding project. I know the siding ended kind of weird on our windows. Halfway, well not halfway, but partially through our windows. That's not ideal. But we're working with 8-foot panels and we just have to work with what we got. And we wanted to match, you know, the rest of the house. These windows are different than these windows. So it's going to be interesting working around the windows, but I think in the end it's going to look all right. The next step of the job is finishing the gable of our wall. And we're going to do that a little bit differently than we did down here. It's not going to be panel siding. So we're going to show you that next time. We're going to take a break. And we'll come back to this later because this will be a little bit more involved than this was. Actually, I'm so thrilled with how good that went today.
Yeah.
We did this wall and we got down to the end and it was perfectly plumb parallel to the trim that we had installed at the other end, which means we went dead straight all the way. That's a first for me. So that's good. I'm very happy with how it's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up, clean up our mess, and we'll be back soon. So thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.
Bye.